that the here you can talk about Greg.
Sure. Well, this is another thing where you look for deviations from the norm. The Maui police chief, John Pelletier, was sworn in December 15th, 2001, not long ago. He is the first non-Hawaiian to have that position. Interesting.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
So that's one of those red flags. It's like, well, this doesn't happen all the time, but they got a guy in position, just like you call up your special coroner to do the autopsy on the suspect deaths. Yeah. You get your guy in place because why? This guy was in charge of the Las Vegas Strip during the Harvest Festival shooting. The exact title was Commander of the Tourist District, which includes the Las Vegas Strip. And my understanding is he also recently brought on like another guy from that event as his second in command. But if you remember the Harvest Festival shooting,
yes,
who was on stage? Jason Aldean,
yes,
right? And and if you remember his tattoo, he had the exact tattoo basically from the Illuminati card game that mentions a massacre in Vegas, a Vegas event. It was an ace and king, I think, of spades. What? It's not incredibly innocuous, but this Illuminati card game, it seems to be, it's very esoteric. It's very strange how these cards always come up in these events, and the pictures looks very specific. I don't know if you can throw it on the, oh shit. But if you find it, there will be on the Vegas card, like an ace and a king. Well, he has that same tattoo. I'm sure you can find it in Google Images. The Jason Aldean, yeah, there it is. The ace and king of spades. I was not wrong on that, I guess. But he has that tattoo. So the speculation is that he was part of.
And it's his initials, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a jack and an ace. It's a jack and an ace.
Jack and an ace, okay. J and A. Justin.
Which is even a little stranger,
God.
Right? It's even a little stranger. Like you could almost say an ace and a king would be coincidence, but a jack and a king, that's not like a pairing that is out there all that often. So I don't know, but I just think that it's interesting that he has this tattoo. It's interesting that he's on stage. I believe he was read in. I mean, he didn't kill anybody, but he's read in to be like, hey, dude, some shit's going to go down. We got it under control. Don't worry about it. And so what's going on now with Jason Aldean? He's going completely viral with this Try It in a Small Town song.
No, you're totally right, bro. And it's just
he's being rewarded for his role in that. And the police chief is being rewarded too with an escalation of another op. And he also, he said in the local news that they're having a hard time finding family members. So people who are missing a loved one should send in their DNA to identify loved ones.
Are you kidding?
I think that's odd. I've never heard that before in any event. But the last number that I'd heard was 93 dead. He's like, no, it's thousands.
Thousands, dude. Thousands.
I don't
the
think
DNA thing, though, what's that for, you think? Like targeted genetics, in the next vaccine, maybe?
It's all about having all your DNA, dude.
To retrieve your purchases, please place your items in the transmatter box and enter your DNA code. Thank you.
Fetch.
You go, Sam, people get moved around, people get other jobs, all this stuff. We're talking two historically traumatic events that this one guy is right in the middle of. The odds on that is just impossible. Any other time we'd be like, that's shady as shit. Like when the Michigan governor bullshit kidnapping psyop happened, the guy that was in charge of FBI there was moved to January 6th.
But it makes it so you really can't challenge people. You build up a hero. Meanwhile, if you've read RFK's book about Fauci, it's insane. He has more bullet points in that book. Like he didn't even say a sentence without it being like footnote, footnote, footnote. And he had a team of people research that book to make sure everything he said was right because he couldn't afford to be wrong. I've never seen a book with more footnotes and more fact checking than his. And it's also really crazy. He talks about a mass grave of kids they found and all kinds of stuff. Fauci's a real monster. But that's just an example of a guy who ran a program once, let it cool down, and then the same guy runs a program again.
Right.
Because it's pretty much right there.
Right.
All you need is to understand that these people are evil. And then if you understand that they're bloodthirsty, greedy psychopaths, that seems to be the stumbling block. If you get there, then you're like, oh yeah, all the pieces do fall into place. My wife sent me this, actually. The fire started on 8/8. This book came out on 8/10. The book is called Fire and Fury, the story of the Maui fire and its implications for climate change.
Yeah.
Specifically, got to get climate change in the title. And then in the description, it says the book chronicles the events from August 8th to August 11th, but its publication day was August 10th. So it tells the future. It tells the future of the Maui fire, because the dates don't even line up in the book's own description. And no, this isn't a pre-order thing. It says published. It says published.
Oh my God, dude.
It's like when somebody screws up and shows, like what a new car looks like too early or something on Twitter,
But, I had a guest one time, I still can't recall the name, but he talked about the notion of a Google bomb, the notion of like using terms that for scandals that will get mixed up with other terms that are far more popular online. And that's a good example of that. Fast and Furious. So now if you want to look up the Fast and Furious scandal, you got to comb through 10 movies, articles about different movies to find it. That also happened when Anonymous came out, like originally, before it became like kind of hacky. Originally, Anonymous came out and everybody was talking about it. And then a movie about William Shakespeare came out called Anonymous. And so I'd try to find stuff and I'm just finding the trailer, interviews with the director.
And that's exactly what Kanye West was talking about with Black Panther.
Really? Oh, yeah. The movie Black Panther, you can't find anything about the real Black Panther.
Is any of this?
I mean, he's right. You type in Fast and Furious and nothing comes up. You have to. You literally have to type in Obama.
So go up what?
I'm asking if any of this is it. Is it like
no? There was a video.
It's a video. Okay.
Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, he just breaks it down. We've already talked about it. So, yeah, I mean, like you just position these people and these players in spots to do stuff, and I guarantee you they have something very dark on this sheriff.
Yeah.
Like very dark. That
they don't leave that up to chance.
Yeah, people just don't understand that, dude. And like they just can't understand how dark these Malachian people are, like the worshiping of the dark arts. And like when you said that they sacrifice all these children, 1,000 children, think about that. Think about that.